Bake Off time. And Bake Off time.
6 bakers.
Where's the trash can? It's not going well at all. I've never lived through it.
2 challenges inspired by our bride.
Oh, my hands are shaking. It's gonna be the right texture. This is scary.
Who will win the coveted title of Star Baker?
I'm feeling a little nervous. Or maybe a lot nervous. So for today's signature challenge, you guys are each going to be making a pie, and it needs to relate somehow to your personality. You have 2 hours and 15 minutes. On your marks, get set, bake! I just grabbed my phone. So tell me about your bake.
I'm making a blueberry lemon poppy seed pie. Yeah, I decided this 2 days ago. So how are you incorporating pie? I'm going to mix it into a streusel topping, and then I'm also going to roll some of it into the dough. So,
And how does this represent your personality?
I procrastinated to pick a recipe, and I've never made this recipe before. So if that's not me, I don't know. I feel
Pie is kind of basic.
Okay.
I'm making a German chocolate pie, and I feel like chocolate is my personality. Like 100%, I love chocolate pies. Also the German element, I was just like that makes me think of Ellie and our trip to Germany. So that's why I'm picking German chocolate.
That makes me think of certain ice cream flavors that you like.
Yes, exactly. The ice cream, chocolate, Oreo. I'm totally for that. So I'm making.
I'm interested to see it. Hello, tell me about your bake.
So today I am making a strawberry peach crumble pie.
Billy, do you want this bowl
So
back?
this pie represents my personality because strawberries are my favorite fruit, but also because this is a combination of 2 recipes that I've made before, but I've never made this before. And that's how I live my life.
Okay. And how are you dividing it? Like what kind of what are you planning for? Okay.
It's going in the oven, so it'll be the crust at the bottom, and then it'll be having in the crumble on and bake it all together.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay, we go. What are you preheating your guys' ovens to?
I need 400.
So what do you think of this consistency? Like, is it? Can I ask what it's supposed to be? It's supposed to be a streusel. How is that going? I think it's streusel-y. I've never made one, so I'm gonna swing at it. Okay. Give that a little rinse. Yeah. This video. Tell me about your day.
So I'm going savory today, and I'm making a spaghetti carbonara pie to remind me of time I spent traveling in Italy. For me, carbonara like every day.
How are you going to incorporate pasta into the pie?
Well, it's a baked pasta pie. You pre-cook the pasta, you mix all the ingredients together, you bake it in the pie pan in the oven. It turned out amazingly when I tested it. My dad made one of the best things I've made, so I have high hopes for today.
Oh, I'm interested to see how that will develop.
Turn around, Anna. You've been naughty.
Hello, Miss Anna. Tell me about you.
I'm making a oven roasted chicken, pan seared celery, shallots, celery with a sauce of Pinot Grigio.
It sounds like you put a lot of effort
Cheese
into
and
tying this all together.
And then just top it off with some fresh tarragon. In other words, I'm making a chicken pot pie.
And why does this define your
The
personality?
reason I picked a chicken pot pie, if you haven't already guessed, is from the movie Chicken Pot, which is my favorite movie. So I think that just basically describes my personality. And also I don't have an ounce of sweet in my bones. So this has to be as savory as you could get it.
So Miss Anna, tell me all about your bake. All right, well I am making a chocolate haupia cream pie. Haupia means coconut pudding in Hawaiian. And I chose this recipe because I knew I had to do a chocolate pie to fit my personality. But also because I have family members from Hawaii and I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, so it just sort of fit with my personality, I guess.
So how are you planning to make the pudding?
I have had to severely cut down on all of the chill times for this recipe in order to fit within the parameters of the flavors. So I will be making the coconut pudding on the stove, adding the chocolate, and then pouring it right into the baked shell to then chill for like the last second. Okay.
So, what do you think about the pie selection we have today?
It's very, very broad. The two savory pies intrigue me. They're a little risky. I'm especially intrigued by Lydia. Her spaghetti carbonara pie doesn't seem like it has a crust, which is a question about the integrity of pie. Is it a pie that doesn't have a crust? But if the flavors are there, it could be all right.
What do you think of Abby using phyllo dough?
You're going to have a danger because the pie crust is supposed to be this very thin, very kind of salty, not sweet. And so if you're using phyllo dough, you're going to have that danger of it rising too thick or being too sweet. So I think it'll be interesting to see how she balances that with her flavors inside.
And we have two chocolate pies. What do you think of those?
I think Cara's going the simple route, which is not always a bad thing, but then all of the flavors have to be there.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see if all of those flavors come out, and I think hers relies on a lot of timing to be in the freezer, to be cooling, so we'll have to see if she times those right and pulls them off. Anna seemed already stressed about time. I'm intrigued to see if she'll be able to pull it together, keep her head, and get everything ready in the time that it needs.
Grace and Hildy both have never made the pies they're making before. Does that worry you?
They do this all the time. I think the danger with Grace is that she's using frozen berries. When you use frozen berries and you haven't done it before, you're not necessarily going to know how those berries are going to melt. And you have the danger of a soggy bottom. You really do. And so we have to make sure that that does not happen. And Hildy was having some streusel issues. She's bringing in a lot of elements that she loves. We have to see if she can actually tie them together. Poppy seed is a subtle flavor, but I want to taste it.
Exactly.
And so we'll have to see if she's able to deliver so that I can get all of those flavors that she's promising.
Does one pie stick out as the one you're most excited to try?
I think if they can pull the flavors off, you can eat a lemon blueberry poppy seed flavor. So if she can get that subtlety of the poppy seed out, I will be very impressed.
Well, thank you for your thoughts.
Of course, of course.
Sabotage!
Excuse me.
Great, perfect. Anything for you. You making it now? I don't think so.
You have 1 hour left, people. 1 hour left. Ellie, what?
What is this?
It's a roux. It's supposed to be red.
I don't think so.
No, the rest we need.
You might need a little bit more liquid. I don't know.
Because it's supposed to be bubbling. Where's the trash can? This is sending back tremendous. We lost 10 minutes.
Like I'm actually now that person that goes out on the first. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the form of
But I'm kind of like this was not the right proportions for the crust. The streusel wasn't perfect. So like,
Your dilemma. I don't know if I should put pecans on top because I don't know if Judge Ellie is going to be okay with that.
That is a good question. We all like pecans, but
I know, and I like pecans, but
yeah, it would add that
I don't
nice
wanna-
crunch. But will Ellie eat it then?
exactly. I don't want to lose points over the pecans.
Where is the milk? I need it.
So Hildy, what are you doing now?
I am spreading creme fraiche on the trying to spread creme fraiche on the bottom of the crust, and then I'm gonna layer streusel and blueberry filling, and then creme fraiche and streusel, and then we'll bake it all and see if it's done in time. Thank you.
So how's it going?
It's not going well at all. When I practiced this, I apparently thought that I would have all day to do this, and I only have not all day. So I've had to cut down every single one of my chill times, and I do not think this is going to be set in time for the judges too.
Oh no, Anna!
So yeah, that was my bad, but
Why did you choose this pie then?
I chose this pie at the last minute, and I just really kind of wanted to do it, so.
Whoops.
I am a complete perfectionist, so everything has to be 1 inch.
Should we measure it when it's all done?
It'll puff up, but it should be around 1 inch. Or they'll all be 1.5.
Okay, how's that whipping of the cream turning out? I've never whipped cream, so I'm just kind of waiting for something to happen that looks familiar, so you don't know the tricks. Are there tricks? I heard somebody ask about chilled beers. I did chill the beers.
But that's all I do.
Okay.
I think besides the little catastrophe right away with the flour and wine, I think it actually is turning out really well. I think it's going to be really good. And hopefully pretty too. Going for the rustic look today, so just random. I mean, perfectionist random, but
Are you gonna have enough time to get it baked?
yes. Everything is still on schedule.
All right, let's see. How's it working, Anna?
It's going as well as it can at this point. Trying to get the filling made so I can get it all in and chill it to the last possible second.
Even though the
They
crunch
always
is
say
the
that
best
people can keep their stationary and win the show, so.
You have 1/2 hour left. 30 minutes.
Is that pan for you?
It was just to catch like drippings and stuff.
Yay! All right, what do you think, Grace?
I think it's good. I think it needs to set up, but I think by the time we get to judging, it's going to be great.
There's one of my life goals to make bread lighter.
That looks delicious. A little bubbly over, so it's not going to be the prettiest, but yeah.
How are you feeling now about your pie?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm like 90% sure it will be chilled enough to actually eat, but we'll have to check and see in like 10 minutes.
How much time do we have left?
8 minutes.
What are you doing?
Okay, wait. I can't pipe yet. I'm gonna have to wait longer until it's more it's still too once it gets down to 5 minutes, I'm just gonna have to start piping in the freezer because otherwise I will not get the whipped cream on in time.
5 minutes. 5 minutes for the top to get golden brown.
5 minutes left, people. Nobody likes a soggy bottom. Left, people. 5 minutes left.
Take it out.
We're going in. Oh, my hands are shaky.
What's happening here, Hildy?
It's gonna taste good.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay!
Hildy, please bring your pie to the game hall. So remind us what we have.
So it is a blueberry lemon poppy seed pie with whipped cream on top and a lemon glaze.
Thank you. That is a very, very satisfying crunch on the crust. Big fan. It's holding its shape right. Except I can't cut things if I don't have a moisture bit. I literally don't know if I can do this. There we go. It's very good. You can get all of the flavors. I actually do think I taste the poppy seeds. I do think the crust is a little thin on the bottom. I think I would want a little bit more on that. But it's very good. You can, I was worried I wouldn't be able to taste the poppy seed. So I'm very glad that I can. Thank you very much. Grace, can you bring your pie out to the game hall?
crumble topping and a brown butter caramel, and then finally a vanilla whipped cream on top.
This is very good. Obviously, it's a little liquidy, but the crust is very, very good. It's very flaky. And even with the liquid, it does not seem to be soggy, which I don't know how that works, but it does not actually seem to be soggy. And the flavors are very, very well balanced. I actually can get all of them. I was wondering about the caramel and if it would come through and if that would, but it does. It tastes very, very good. Well done. Thank you. Very good. Lydia, can you bring yours to the gingham altar? Remind me what it is.
So this is a spaghetti carbonara pie.
It's very, very good. It holds its shape very well, which I wasn't sure about. But again, I'm not very familiar with noodle pies, so you have impressed me.
It was very good. Did you cook the noodles?
All the way through before you baked it?
I cooked them and they were al dente, like pretty al dente,
Okay.
so I just cooked them for a few minutes.
It's very good. Thank you very much. Cara, will you bring up your pie to the gingham altar? Remind me what you have?
Yes, this is a German chocolate pie with an Oreo crust and chocolate filling with the coconut and pecans on the top.
That was very good. You know, I'm not a huge fan of pecans, but you have just the right amount, so you get the crunch, but not too much of the taste. And I think you have a good balance of coconut to the chocolate, because I think the coconut balances out the sweet really well. So I think you did a good balance for that as well. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Abby, will you please bring up your pie to the gingham altar? Remind me what we have.
So this is a chicken pot pie with some aged Gewürztraminer and some fresh tarragon.
The flavors are all very well balanced.
I think I missed a little salt, not very much, but a little extra salt.
And then yeah, the only other thing that could have been improved upon is it is a little runny, but it's also a pot pie, so it's a little more understandable to have it a little soupier. So yeah, otherwise it's very good. You can taste all the flavors, so you didn't really overshadow any, which is good. Thank you very much.
Anna, will you please bring your pie to the Giggle Altar? I made for you a chocolate halpia cream pie, which is, halpia is a coconut pudding. So there's a chocolate layer and then a coconut layer and then the whipped cream.
I will say the piping is very detailed. That looks great. You can see the defined layers, which is great. It's very good. The coconut flavor is very subtle, but I actually really like that because the chocolate flavor is subtle as well. So it's not really overpowered at all. It's a very good, very balanced, very light summery pie, I would say. I think it is only barely holding together. Like I think you got it set, but just enough time to set it. But it tastes very, very good. And the crust is very flaky. Perhaps the crust a little bit went on a suicide mission. But it's very, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Grace, how do you feel like that went?
I was kind of nervous with the time crunch that my pie came out of the oven and it was still a little warm. The cream started melting and it was pretty soft when she cut into it. So I'm not quite sure if she's gonna top me for that.
I feel that it actually went a lot better than it could have. I was very stressed during the middle of the process, but towards the end it got a little bit better. I think it could have been a lot better set, but
I think it could have been better, but that's pretty much what I get for having no idea what I'm doing.
I feel pretty good going into the technical. I feel like because I did savory and only one other contestant did savory, but that kind of sets us apart.
I think I do have a chance at winning because my pie was a little different. I mean, I was one of the only other people who did savory pie, so I think that kind of benefited from me. Although my pie was a little runny, so that's kind of got me worried, but I do think I have a chance of winning. So
She said she really liked the flavor. They all showed through, but she did say it was a little liquidy, but there was no soggy bottom, so that's a win for me.
for what it was actually pretty good. And she really liked the pipe work, so.
Whipped cream on a hot pie does not work. So we're learning our lesson and moving on, and I'm just crossing my fingers that there's no whipped cream in the technical challenge.
I'm kind of excited to go into technical and see what happens there. I'm not sure what to expect.
The contestants were able to practice their pies, but for the technical bake, they have no idea what's coming.
The ones that were on the show that we were like, oh my gosh. And I don't think it's going to be too hard. I think it's going to be right in between level of difficulty. So we might fail, but we might really succeed.
yeah, I think it's going to be like medium. Like maybe one of us is going to fail. It's going to be medium.
All right, welcome to the technical bake. Today's technical bake is a recipe from Paul Hollywood. It is a recipe for stuffed focaccia. You guys will have 3 hours, and Ellie gets to give us a tip.
So consistency is going to be very key in this bake. Very key. So,
All right, so you guys will all have your recipe and things underneath your towels. You have 3 hours, and your time starts now. On your marks, get set, bake!
How are you feeling right now, Kara?
You know, not very good. I am excited. This is fun, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
Abby, talk to me.
Things go on.
It has to be rosemary, but I'm stressed.
What do you think?
I don't know what to think yet. I'm actually not to, she said it was a Paul Hollywood recipe, so I kind of feel like it's gonna be good. I trust his recipes, and also I'm not too shabby with breads and things like that, so I don't know, it could be good, but it also could be really bad, so I don't know, we'll see.
I've never made focaccia before. I've also never used a food scale. I've done it in like a biology lab. This is all I know. I'm really stressed.
Grace, how are you feeling about focaccia?
I'm excited about it. I've watched Ellie make it before in my kitchen. I didn't help with that. Now I'm wishing I would have. But I'm really excited to try it, and I have no idea how it's gonna go.
So, the stuffed focaccia that they are making today is not too incredibly complex of a recipe. The thing that really makes it unusual is that you are doing 2 layers of focaccia on top of each other, and they do need to bond with each other. But you also can't have too greasy of a filling in between to make it not act like focaccia. So they really have to get that consistency right, so it's that chewy, oily focaccia without missing out on any of those flavors. So I'm really looking for an even bake on the top with that classic traditional focaccia look. But I need to cut into that, and I need to see that layer of filling, a really distinct layer. And it needs to taste very, very clean, and all the flavors need to be there and still taste like a traditional focaccia, even though it is stuffed. So I think that this is something that they can handle as long as they keep their heads and don't panic.
I'm very confused. I thought you had to like activate yeast, so I don't know if I should be putting this in water. I don't know. I'm just gonna follow the recipe and go for it, I guess.
I think I'm gonna coarsely chop the rosemary just so like it's more evenly distributed since there's not a lot of it. I don't think I'm supposed to do that, but we're gonna do it anyway.
There's no measurement for the rosemary. You can do it. Just take some deep breaths. You know how bread dough is supposed to be.
Do I?
You do. You've made bread before, so I think you can handle this one.
I have.
Lydia is the experienced baker in the tent.
I'm confused of what things go in the dough and what things go on the dough, but apparently I just get to guess and try it and see how it works. So
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna put some of the oil in the dough because otherwise I don't know if it's gonna be the right texture, and it's not very much, so I can't anticipate whether that'll do very much or not, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
She said consistency is key, but I don't know what consistency this is supposed to be. Probably not this.
What do you think, Anna?
I'm actually feeling pretty good. Actually, yeah. I think it's not gonna be too bad. So shaggy.
To eat it, perfect.
I'm feeling really good, and I've actually eaten this recipe before, so I feel like I know in general what should be going on.
Oh, so you're the one to beat in this technical. How's it going, Grace?
I think it's going pretty well. I know what focaccia should look like, so I'm kind of just going for when it looks like the texture that I've seen before, because I don't really know what it feels like. But it's coming together nicely, so I'm optimistic.
Is there a pen by any chance?
I have another one.
Oh, okay.
has to rise again, so
Where does it have to rise again?
there's 2 rises.
6.
You can read the whole recipe?
No, step 6.
Oh my word. There should be plenty of time.
Are we only going to use half of our dough?
Yeah, that's personal preference. Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Who knows? I was a traditionalist,
Well.
so.
Right, what do you girls think?
We're trying to decide how we want to cut up our filling stuff, and I think cutting the spinach in half would be better to eat than having like an entire.
I think you should almost like slice it really small because nobody wants to eat a giant mouthful of lettuce. At least I don't. I don't know.
I know the way that it was made originally,
Ah.
but I'm like, is that the way that?
Is that the way it should be made?
Did you change it because you? Well, no, I'm like, I know that's how the recipe is, but I'm like, is that the actual way? Like, it's baked.
You're thinking you can improve on the way I did it. Is that what this comes down to?
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything. That tracks. Okay. I don't read directions. You don't need to dissolve it in water. I dissolved it. I mixed the salt and the flour, and I was like, if I put the yeast right in here, it'll just hit the salt. And I didn't want to do that, so I activated it and then stirred it. What do you think, Jenna?
I don't know. I feel like I have to give it longer than I originally thought I was going to.
Relaxing a bit, then just in case.
I mean, I know you'll have to,
Put it in.
you'll have to rise.
I don't know. I'm gonna go rinse first off the
I mean, how long are you gonna do for that?
The rising? Well, that's what it is, but it's not for rising.
It's 20 minutes. Yeah. It's 20 minutes. Yeah. At the latest, I might. Yeah. How did yours get so? Here, moment of truth.
What's your dilemma, Abby?
I don't know if I should cut this. I don't know if I should take my dough out or let it rise. Is it even going to keep rising? I have no idea. My spinach looks good though, so that's bonus.
Anna, I see you chose to cut.
I know, I don't think that's the right option, but I do think that
It is
for
a
eating
option.
purposes, I would rather eat it if it was sliced, so.
Grace, are you happy with your dough?
I am delighted. It got nice and airy, and I punched it down and watched it deflate. The texture's a lot softer, which I'm really excited about. So I'm very optimistic going into the second rise.
I love this stuff. It's so good.
Really so much time. Right? It would be longer the first time. Because the second time you're eating it out and you have something on it.
I'm thinking like 20 minutes.
So we put it in a 250.
Hildy,
Abby, how's it going?
Just waiting. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm waiting.
I almost might wait until 2 to take it out, and then that would be 40 until 2 to take it out now. It would give me 15 minutes to fill it, and then 45 minutes for spread. But then I could also take it out earlier and bake it.
Anymore right now.
Ellie, how about you squeeze that other cream in bowl?
Right, how much time do we have?
90 minutes left, everyone. 90 minutes. Hour left.
So but it's not gonna take an hour space. You guys, I don't know whether these need to be cool or not when we serve them. It says wire rack is cool.
I don't use the bottom.
It's convection, so it shouldn't matter.
I think it'll be. Put it on the top.
If the convection isn't actually on, so you might want to just flip it up.
Yeah, right by grandma.
I think that looks good.
Is
that a little white?
Grace was?
Grace is there.
Just keep it in for a couple more minutes.
Don't get distracted by all the cute babies.
Do you want to hold the cute baby?
Yes.
I don't know how to like whack it, you know?
What's the problem, Abby?
I can't get it out of the pan. It looks nice on the bottom. I just don't know if I can get it out. Yeah, it's not working the greatest though.
We've decided to give it a couple more minutes. Make sure it's brown, and then it'll be crunch time to get it out.
Not dark enough. Okay, I actually let's go to this. Do you want it back in? No, like 2 minutes?
We're cutting it so close.
I don't know. What do you want?
Maybe take it out. I think I'll.
Okay.
No, I changed my mind. You actually stick it in. What was it hotter at the back?
Yes.
Maybe.
Like this.
Yeah, that sounds looking. Thank you. Yeah.
Probably should not be broiling it, but I just think I don't like top a little bit.
Oh, you're broiling?
Yeah.
That's it.
Here, Abby, use the second one.
Really stuck in there.
I'm watching it. We can do a very small amount of time.
And what do you think about knowing that she's broiling it?
I'm feeling a little nervous. Or maybe a lot nervous.
How do you feel, Abby?
Just glad it's out of the pan.
What about you, Anna?
I feel good too, yeah.
You're such a bell vibes right now, and I love it.
The drawer on the other side of you. Right here.
Scary.
I know.
Now the time to tell you 5 minutes.
Sure.
I got 5 minutes to get this out. I can do it.
You can do it in 5 minutes.
Did you get yours? I feel like mine's just like a heart.
There's a second spatula if you need two.
Maybe. I had to like really go under it.
Yeah.
And it even cracked in spots. So just kind of
Gotta do it. Yeah.
So we have oil. So pumped.
Alright guys, time's up. Please take your technical bakes to the gingham altar.
So I have to judge these based on the actual recipe for focaccia. So focaccia is very bubbly. It's supposed to be very like textured and still very spongy almost. So I have to see about that. So from looking at them, this one looks very good. This one looks like it looks the way it should. They all look pretty good. It looks like this is the only one that doesn't have pepper on it, although that one might not have pepper on the top either. But we have to cut into them to see where they're at. Do you want me to go from 1 to 6?
Yeah, do 1 to 6.
So we'll cut into this one first. Feels yeah, that would be fine. Okay. Okay. So that looks like a good texture. The layers in the middle. Try it. This is wild with everybody watching me eat. Yeah, this is very good. This is spot on. And this tastes just like focaccia. It's salty, but it's not like briny, which is very good. So this one, like, baked up a little bit more and is fluffy, but it might not have enough olive oil to be, it might be more bready than it is focaccia-like, but we'll have to see when we taste it. It still tastes pretty good, but I think it's missing a little bit of olive oil. This one looks similar, but it doesn't look as, I mean, I wouldn't call this dry, but it just isn't
as saturated with olive oil. This one has a lot of pepper, which is very good. And I would say it's missing a little bit of olive oil, but not much. This looks like it has a very even filling. Yeah, this is very good. The filling is really evenly distributed, so you can taste all the flavors really, really well. So this one has a different texture, but I feel like I have to try it to know what that texture is. This one stays together the most of any of them, so I think it bonded the best with both layers. But I think it could have used a little more olive oil, but the filling was really well incorporated. Yeah, this one's also very evenly distributed. And it tastes very good too. Yeah. They all taste great. You will really like them. So now I have to go
You have to rank
from 6 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, I think I got this. Okay, so I'm gonna put in 6th place this one. This one's really good. It has a slightly more bright consistency than focaccia consistency, so that's why I put it in 6th. But it still tastes very, very good. And then in 5th place, this one. This one is in 5th. Okay, so this one is good. It also has a little bit of bready, like a little bready of a consistency versus as much of the olive oil. And then the layers are a little uneven. And then in 4th place, this one. This one is 4th place. Okay, and this one was really, really even as far as the layers went, but I also thought the consistency was a little bready. This is really hard to keep track of. Genuinely very hard to keep track of. Okay, so then 3rd place is this one. Okay, so this one is very good. I thought it was incorporated super well. Like again, a little of the bready consistency, much, much closer, but still slightly breadier. And so that means 2nd place is this one. So this is in 2nd place because I think it had a really good consistency, but it didn't rise. We're supposed to be healthier, and you were never like. Yours completely bonded together, so you were the only one who got it, so that the 2 layers were completely stuck together and were not going to fall apart. So you got it to be one singular bread instead of 2 layers. So yours just completely stayed together. So, well, there you go. That's how I rate you.
Ellie, so how did you think the technical went?
I think it went exceptionally well. I think they did a great job overall. They all held their form very well. They were all cooked through. None of them were raw. None of them were like super haphazard in any way. So I think it went super, super well.
It seems like a tight competition. Do you know who's going to win?
I think that I do, but it is a very, very tight competition because, I mean, if you even take Cara, who came last in the technical,
she delivered that incredible pie in the first round. So it's like no one has eliminated themselves or brought themselves down really. They all excelled at least one of the tasks, which makes it very, very difficult. I do think I know who we're gonna end up awarding this to, but it's a very, very close race, and I had a couple that were kind of sitting there.
Who is it between?
I mean, Hildy came first in the technical. She's gonna be up there, of course. I think Lydia's pie was exceptional. Cara is hard to eliminate because of her performance in the first round. But then you also have Grace, who did perform strongly, like she was at least middle of the ground in both. So you kind of have, she got close to the top in the technical and didn't have many issues at all with the pie in the first round. So that makes it very, very hard because they really are all very close to the top. But those would be the ones that I would say.
It's between?
It's between.
Well, I'm excited to hear who will be the winner.
Yeah.
All right, Ellie is going to announce the winner of the Great Bachelorette Bake Off.
So it was very difficult to choose because everyone did very, very well. But I weighted on who I thought did very, very well, both in the pie round and in the technical. So I had a few different things that I judged it on, but the winner ended up being Hildy.
Should all be like
She does not deserve it. My pie was better than hers. People can feel free to come help themselves to one of the pies or all of them, and Tower cream puffs, and then champagne